Here's two reversals that most traders missed. But if you knew how to use this indicator, you could have seen it coming. Today, I'm walking you through how to set this indicator up in TradingView to find these setups yourself to make more money. This right here is a super powerful tool, but it can be a little bit hard to use, and it can also be hard to actually find the right tool in TradingView and to set it up. But don't worry, I will go over everything in a step-by-step manner. But first of all, this tool right here is called the Cumulative Volume Delta, or for short, CVD. And by this point, you already know what volume delta is. You know, it's the difference between the buying volume and selling volume. But here on the name, you can hear cumulative. That is basically that we add up the volume delta or the volume difference over time. So you can pretty much hear on the name that the CVD measures the total net buying or selling over time. So it basically adds up the volume delta of every candle to show if, you know, aggressive buyers or aggressive sellers are in control of the market. And here the interesting signals start to come when we compare the cumulative volume delta to the price. So because when we do that, we can start to see, you know, who is actually in control of the market. So for example, if the price goes up and we're also seeing you know, the cumulative volume delta go up, we're seeing that the aggressive buyers are succeeding in pushing the price higher, right? So we often have a strong, healthy move. And here, what you can specifically look out for is divergences between the CVD and the price. So two of the most common divergences, don't worry, I will show you every divergence you can look out for, very simple terms, but you can look out for buying exhaustion, and that is when the price prints higher highs and the CVD prints lower highs. You can also think about this as, you know, bearish divergence that you, for example, see in momentum indicators like the MACD. And by the way, I do have a full, like, 1 hour long course on the MACD if you want to dive deeper, you know, into you know, indicators that are based on the price action later on. I will make sure to link that video in the video card and description. But we also have selling exhaustion. This is basically the bullish divergence when we see the price printing lower lows while the CVD making higher lows. And both of these divergence types is great for spotting potential reversals or even some hidden absorption. All right, so here I basically have made a cheat sheet of all the different CVD divergences you can find, and don't worry, I will go over all of these step by step, but if you want to get access to this image and all of the images from this today's presentation, I actually release all the presentations to our YouTube community, our YouTube channel members right here on YouTube. If you want to become a channel member, you can do that by clicking join down below. And as I said, all gold and diamond members get access to presentations like this one, but also more things like, you know, exclusive videos, priority replies, you get some emojis, some badges, and at the same time you support the channel. So if you like this kind of content and want to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member by clicking join down below. But now let's go over the divergences. So first of all, you have the orange side right here, that is the price. And you have the blue side, which is the CVD indicator. And when the price prints higher highs, like we're seeing right here, you can see one high and higher high. Let me actually change the color here so you can see clearly. And when the CVD at the same time prints lower highs, then we have a bearish divergence, and that is a signal indicating a potential reversal to the downside. But also we have something called hidden divergence. This is harder to spot and a little bit harder to understand, but that is when we already have a downtrend. So we already have lower highs on the price, but the CVD prints higher highs. This is actually a bearish signal, but it's a bearish continuation signal. So it's a little bit different. But in this video, we are going to focus on the normal bearish divergence and bullish divergence, but I just want to include the hidden divergences as well, because you can definitely use them and they can be super valuable. But now, the normal bullish divergence is when the price prints lower highs. So you can see lower lows, one low and then a lower low, while the indicator prints higher lows, one low and then a higher low. So lower lows on the price, higher lows on the CVD. That is a bullish divergence indicating a reversal to the upside. Last but definitely not least, we have the hidden bullish divergence. This is a continuation signal because the price is already printing higher lows, but then we see the CVD printing lower lows, and this indicates a continuation to the upside. But now I want to take a look at how we can use the CVD, and more importantly, how to find the best CVD in TradingView. Alright, so now let's once again jump into TradingView and let's continue using the Bitcoin chart, because in some other courses you guys always wonder how can we really apply this to all markets and so on and so on. So to keep it consistent, I will try to use the same chart here and just use Bitcoin. But now, how do we open up the CVD indicator? Well, to do that, we want to go to the Indicators tab in TradingView. So you press right here, and you want to search for CVD. And then you can see here, first of all, see that we have a built-in indicator that is called Cumulative Volume Delta. Some traders use that one, but that is not really the favorite indicator for me. What I like is one called Cumulative, I think it's called Cumulative Delta Volume, like this. And it's this one right here, created by Lonesome the Wolf, I think is called. You can see it should say around 8.8 thousand as I'm recording this video. So you press this one right here. And just like that, the indicator should appear here at the bottom of the screen. But now, in order to make this indicator better, at least in my opinion, and easier to read, I want to change a few settings. So what we do is that we go down here to where it says settings, and then I actually want to change the inputs here, and instead of using candles, I prefer to use a line. So I will change this one to a line right here, and then so you guys can see it more clearly, I'm gonna make it a bit more thicker like that. And for now, I think we're ready to go down here and press OK. But now remember what we're looking out for. We're looking out for when the price prints, when the price and CVD goes in the opposite direction. So for example, if we look at this low and this low, you can see that the price clearly prints lower lows. But in this case, the CVD goes in the same direction. So here we actually had no divergence. So that is, one sign that wasn't bullish about that particular low. But we still, this was where we created the support, and this was where we saw the next bounce. But here, if we look a bit earlier, you can actually see a super clear divergence. You can see right here, we had, one high right here, and then we printed a higher high. So the price prints higher highs. But if you look down to the CVD, you can see that the CVD creates a super clear lower high. And remember, when we have higher highs on the price, lower highs on the indicators, this right here is a bearish divergence indicating a reversal to the downside. And after this divergence up here, we indeed saw a reversal. Let's actually scroll back even more, see if we can find any other kind of divergences. Let's zoom in a bit on the CVD. Well, right here, you can see an example of the opposite. We have one low, then a lower low on the price prints lower lows. But if you look closely at the CVD, you can see that the CVD prints one low and then a higher low. This right here is a bullish divergence indicating a reversal to the upside. And after this divergence, we saw a beautiful move up. Alright, so this video was actually just a very short clip from our full course on order flow trading right here on YouTube. To watch the full course, simply click or tap on the screen right here. I really hope to see you all in the full course very, very soon.